All right, so check it out, guys. What is going on over here? Well, I think you probably know. Lately, we've been using a ton of blackstone on our nether tunnels. Oh, they take so much. It's insane. So we can get a bunch of blackstone just by trading with the piglins, bartering with them. And we've been doing that, but I find I'm using it even faster than I'm getting it that way. So I've decided just to go to the nether here and tear down one of these bastions. They are absolutely loaded with the stuff. The top half of the bastion is the blackstone bricks up over there, but if you go down a little bit, you'll get to the foundation, and this is like the regular blackstone, solid pretty much all the way down to the lava level, and there is so much in there. We can get a good stockpile of this stuff, and that's what we're going to do here. And also, this is a great way of getting the... Oh dear. Oh dear. I don't have fire resistance. Don't have fire resistance. Kind of an oversight on the way here. Okay, come on. Ah, yeah, it's perfectly fine, guys. Tons of yielded blackstone that you would never find otherwise, because it's like hidden within the foundation, not on the surface level, so you gotta like mine the whole thing to get to this. And also there's like tons of just like gold blocks throughout the thing too, which is kind of nice. Can I ride you? No. Oh, he gets knocked back. Awesome. So back over at our nether hub here, we have another tunnel reworked. This is the very first tunnel we ever built, the stone brick and iron bar one here. That goes down to the stronghold and our dual blaze farm. You can see now we got some blue ice down the center and some blackstone slabs and basalt on the side, but I did leave most of the tunnel intact. And then beyond here, we got the blackstone design again. Left a little opening there so we can still see the frog when we go through. And this leads down to our wither skeleton farm, the gas blaster 3000, and the goon farm. And I think there's one more thing over here, but it's a little bit of a shorter one. In the comments, I saw some people asking about the silverfish farm, if I was going to fix it before the world tour, so I decided to take a look at it here, and I think it actually works just fine, except I think the piston tapes broke somehow, because this one is jammed. Let's get rid of that. Oh, that's a stone block, not a silverfish block. That's weird. Okay. Let's go down here and just bust a couple of these and see what happens. That also was a stone block, not a silverfish block. Okay. Let him through. Oh, I hear it running. That's a good sign. Yeah, I think it is jammed somehow. There's some regular stone blocks mixed in there instead of silverfish ones. But you can see they entered the stone block. It comes from a stone generator. And then when they enter it, it updates. There's like a block update detector there, and then it pushes it over. And it all goes up into a big slab of silverfish blocks in this this big clump here. All right, so it's looking like we used up our last beacon on that bastion, and I left it out there, so it's probably a good idea to farm up a few more withers here. We have enough skulls to spawn in 9 more at the moment, and I thought we would try automate it a little bit. So we got carved pumpkins in here. We got a bunch of iron golems set up. It didn't work. Oh no. Move one over here just to test this. Oh, now it works. Okay. It's trying to be all fancy here, you know, all automated and stuff. Oh, I did not want to do that. Oh, this is not going well. Let's head back. I guess we'll just have to spawn them in manually. All right, so we got 5 iron golems in there. Let's try this out. So the idea is they're going to surround the wither. We got this loaded in, so all we got to do is hit the button. Hopefully he won't fly away. So there's 2 good ways of doing this. We could either kill the withers with suffocation. That's good if you're doing a lot of them. But if you're just doing a few, the iron golems work pretty good. They do a ton of damage quickly. The only downside is you got to repair them every so often. And as long as you got enough iron golems, they should auto-kill it too. Yeah. So we got the nether star there. Great. And then, since we got the obsidian here, they can't walk in the way there, so we just reset. And yeah, if they take a little bit of damage, you can just repair them with the iron. Woohoo! Cool, so I am really excited about what we're going to be doing next here. I asked you guys last episode if we should focus on finishing projects this episode, or if we should just have fun and do the EnderPorter thing. And it sounds like most of you guys want to see the EnderPorter. So that is what we're going to be messing around with today. Oh, this is going to be cool. So there is actually a lot of different ways we could go around doing this. I thought we'd kind of look at a few options, and then I'll pick one and see how it goes, I guess. So first off, how are we going to load the EnderPorters is a big one. I kind of like the idea of always loading it while facing down like this. Just throw it down, set in place, nice and easy. So to do that, it's looking like we're going to need at least 6 blocks of water in the bubble column here. So with just 5 water blocks in the bubble column, when we throw it, we always hit the soul sand. It's not enough to slow it down. So we want to go with at least 6, but I have noticed rarely it will hit the soul sand still. So we'll go with 7 as a safety. Another really important design question we need to answer is how many ender pearls do we want at each EnderPorter? Because every time we use it, we're going to use up an ender pearl, and that we have to replace that somehow. So do we want to maybe just every once in a while load 10 or 20 ender pearls into the EnderPorter, or just have one at any given time? I just want to have one ender pearl, and every time we use it, we have to reload it. I think that's the simple way of doing it, and when we get lots of moving objects like this in the game, it can cause lag as well, so it's better to have fewer. And because we're going to need to replace that ender pearl every time we teleport, it makes sense to have a dropper loaded up with ender pearls. That way we get one after each teleport to replace the one we use. Yeah, we got it. Okay, so we're at 6. We throw it. We're at 5. And we're at 6. Now we're at 5. So that way we can teleport many times and not worry about running out of ender pearls. And yeah, it'll just be convenient. Now, another thing you'll notice here is when I teleport, I'm not above the water. That's actually a big problem, because if I want to quickly replace that and I throw it, it's going to hit the ground. I want to be over here after the teleport. So I tried out a few different ways of controlling that. For example, one idea was to maybe put a cobblestone wall here, and then that space between the wall and the edge of the block isn't very big. I thought it would align us over the water a bit. But what actually happens is... Oh, that time it's grabbed us. It doesn't always do that. It's inconsistent too. Yeah, a lot of times it does this, and you can see we're still over the land, even though there wasn't enough space, because it teleports us into the wall, which that's no good. So what I actually found works pretty good is if we use trapdoors, actually. So we just have a trapdoor over here and like a redstone torch to keep it open, and then we just got to control that redstone torch and flip it down when we want to activate the ender pearl. Yeah, so check it out. We load the ender pearl like so, and then when we activate it, we're over top the water, and we can just throw another one. Easy to reset. The other thing, though, is you can see the trap door is closed for a while. Ideally, we want to be able to throw it as soon as we teleport. So a stone button powers redstone for 1 second. We want to shorten that. That's too long. So we use a monostable circuit, just the sticky piston facing up. And then from that, we set this repeater. Let's try 2 to see how that works. We're going to have to fine-tune this a bit, figure out the sweet spot. That might be too fast. All right, that was good. If it's too quick, it might not allow the ender pearl to land on it in time. So let's just do a few tests. Oh yeah, you see it didn't trigger. So we gotta make this a little bit longer then. Okay, so a setting of 4 seems to be what we want. Any shorter than that, and the ender pearl isn't guaranteed to land on the trap door. And any longer than that, and we're just wasting time. So yeah, it's good. Easy to reset. Awesome, so I think we got the basic mechanism figured out for triggering it. Now let's talk about the EnderPorter Network, because that's important as well. So the idea is we're going to have EnderPorters spread throughout the world, lots of them. So ideally we want them pretty simple to make as well, because we're going to be building many EnderPorters. But how do we teleport between them, and how do we set them up is a big question. Like, we could do a grid style, maybe every 100 blocks apart. Pretend these are EnderPorters, by the way, the cobblestone blocks. Maybe we equally space them between each other, you know, and like every 100 blocks have one. But the problem is, let's say my super smelter is right over here. I'm going to have to teleport to an EnderPorter and then walk like 40 blocks to my super smelter. Yeah, so I don't really like the idea of doing a grid style network because it's not going to take us exactly where we want to go. We want to put the ender porters right at our important locations like our super smelter, our end portal, our guardian farm, etc. But another network design is a hub style. So maybe you have a bunch of ender porters and then one key one in the center of them all. And it's like we got to teleport from this ender porter to the hub and then to the next location, or from here to there. But the problem with doing a hub style is like if we want to go from here to here, we can't just do that. We have to go to the center and then to there. The advantage is we could make a really fancy hub and have it look cool. The network style we're actually going to go with is more like synapses in the brain, I would say, like where anything within render distance of an ender portal we would want to connect to. So maybe we could, from this one, connect to that one, and that one, while those ones might be a bit too far away. And then when we get to this one, we might be able to connect to this one, and this one, and this one. And each one will probably connect to between 1 and 4. And that way there'll be several different ways of traveling through the network, and it should be pretty efficient. One other key thing we got to decide is how we're going to handle traveling long distances. Like if we want to go 1,000 blocks, we can't just go from here to here because the wire is going to pass through unloaded chunks and then stop. So I have decided I don't want to do any chunk loading systems, I don't think. It's going to complicate things a lot, and also they're more likely to break in future patches. So we're going to stick to just what's within render distance, I think. So if we go to video settings, I usually play around 17 chunks loaded. I think on servers, a lot of times it's 10. That's 160 blocks radius. Or 12, which is 192. So that's a pretty good distance still. So we'll kind of plan with that in mind, like between each of the stations. And then there's one more complicated thing to figure out. How do we handle going from here to here? Because we're going to have to pass through these other stations. Do we somehow tell them in advance that, like, when we get here, we want to go here? And when we get here, we want to go here? Or do we go from here to here and then manually say, I want to go here? And then manually say, I want to go here? That'll take a little bit longer, probably, but it'll be much simpler. Ideally, we want to be able to send the signals pretty quickly. With standard redstone, you can go 15 blocks and then you need a repeater. So this adds 1/10 of a second delay between each of these things. So if we want to go 160 blocks, that's 1 second of delay. And if we go 1,600 blocks, that's 10 seconds. So it does start to add up over long distances. And we'll probably be putting down quite a bit of wire between our ender porters to get them connected together. And that got me thinking maybe I should try to figure out something better, something faster, and kind of got to thinking tripwires might be the answer. So a tripwire can go 40 blocks the string, plus there's 2 blocks for the tripwire hooks themselves, and then another 2 blocks for the blocks they connect to. So it's like 44 blocks of instant wire. And then you can also attach redstone to that after, so we'll probably do a mix. That's like 60 blocks of instant wire. And then I also figured out a way to extend it further, so to connect the redstone up to another set of tripwires. And then we go redstone, tripwires, redstone, tripwires. We can go as far as we want, basically. We can't just activate the string with redstone. We need to push an entity into it. So I was thinking we put a minecart in a dispenser, and then on a slant right below the string, and that way right when it spawns it'll be in the string and keep it going. So it should be close to instant, if not instant. And yeah, just like that. We'll have to run the minecart into a cactus or something though to get it back in here after that. So we want it self-contained. But yeah, let's just do a quick little test here, kind of get an idea of the speed. So just again, this can run another 40 blocks. I just have a short distance there, just because I don't have space. But yeah, we can go all the way down here and basically get it instantly triggered. Like so. That's pretty cool. All right, well, I could talk about it all day, but talk is cheap, right? We got to actually get to building the ender porters now, but I think we covered the concepts pretty good there and some different ways we could do it. I've decided roughly how I want to do ours. So we got 2 ender porters built at the moment. One of them is at our guardian farm, and the other one is at our end portal, and we can go back and forth between them to test this out and give it a trial, get a feel for how it's going to work. And I discovered a few interesting things while building this, but I guess first let's just go for a test run here. So the way I'm doing it at the moment, I got buttons on the ground. This one's not hooked up to anything. It's just this one takes us to the end portal. There you go. Teleport, we reset by throwing another ender pearl, and it's good to go. So we can go through the end portal, or if we want to go back, we got another button. Haven't found a proper position for it yet, but it'll take us back to the Guardian Farm. So our end portal's at about minus 450x and 850z, and I'll try to give you an idea of how far we're actually teleporting. Go up the ladder, and we're going diagonal, so in total it's about 370 blocks of wiring. I ran back and forth down there to get to our Guardian Farm all the way over here. Here we go. So this is at negative 240 and about 710 or so. And yeah, one of the big problems I discovered while building this is slimes. Slimes are actually a big issue because we're using tripwires. And yeah, they can spawn and then they jump in the tripwires and activate the ender pearls when you don't want them to. So I had to slab everything that was spawnable to stop the slimes from spawning. It's not enough just to torch it up and light it up to stop hostile mobs. You got to stop the slimes because you're pretty much guaranteed to run through a slime chunk if you're going underground like this. So we got 2 wires, one of them to go one way, one to go the other way. And then we got a space in the middle so we can walk down here without activating them. And you can see I did figure out how I was going to do the minecart thing. So we got the minecart, it goes out, goes around, rams into a cactus, and then the hopper picks it up and puts it back in there. So it seems to work pretty fine, actually. And then there's also our mortal enemy to worry about. You hear that? The bats. If we have a location where bats can spawn, like a dark spot, then they can fly into our tripwires as well. So we got a lot of things to worry about. Oh, and by the way, I think I came up with a better way of activating the trap door than what we had before. So the other way we were doing it, we had like 4 ticks of on the repeater, and then it ran through the torch and then to the trap door. That's like 0.6 seconds. The new way we're doing it, it comes up here. There's a sticky piston there. We just have 1 tick on the repeater and then the redstone torch, so that's 0.3 seconds. It's like half the speed. And then after it goes through here, it cuts off the redstone signal. This extends, and then this can't power this anymore. And that just activates us a little bit quicker. And actually, with the wacky tripwires and minecart thing we got going on there, it is pretty much instant as far as I can tell. And that saves us about a second or 2 every time we teleport. Which is important because, like, if it's not fast and convenient and wonderful, we're just going to use rockets. And this will be pointless, right? So we want it to be good. And as far as I can tell, it is pretty good right now. I'm happy with that. All right, good stuff. So I thought we would take a break from that and do a bit of building today after all. So I've been in the area here and I stopped by the Blaze Farm. It's like, oh, maybe we should try get that done today, actually. So it's very close to done. We got the style all figured out. We got the important stuff all put together here. And I do like the look of this place, actually. I know a lot of people don't like purple and sandstone and stuff, but I do. So I'm a rebel that way. But you will notice, like, the top half's done, but the bottom half here is not done. It's close, but we got a lot of netherrack showing and stuff, so I brought over some materials here, and we're gonna just work out what we're doing. Try to figure out the final look of this place, and actually call the Dual Blaze Farm finished would be cool. Something that kind of blew my mind the other day was the stone cutter, and I noticed now, like, I start crafting slabs like this again, and people are like, Etho, you gotta use the stone cutter. And it's like, no, it turns out it's the exact same material cost for most things. So 3 sandstone will get you 6 slabs, just like that, right? And same with walls. Same price on the stone cutter as the crafting table. The only one that's cheaper is the stairs. So we definitely want to do our purple stairs in here. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know what you would call this style of building. I guess maybe abstract, but I really like it, actually. I find it one of the easiest styles for me. A lot of times I like really struggle with like deciding what to build, and this style is just like to spam blocks and try to mix them together and come up with weird random shapes, and it doesn't really matter if it doesn't make sense, right? It ends up looking kind of crazy at the end of things, and I like it a lot, actually. Ah, yeah, we got her done, guys. The Dual Blaze Farm is finally finished after probably 7 or 8 years, or whatever it's been. This place has a lot of history, actually. It's gone through many changes over that time. It was basically done before, just the final touches now, right? So, yeah, we got this area looking a little bit better now, I would say. I like it a lot. It's very abstract, or alien-like, and put some slabs over here because I was worried about gas spawning if we left this all open. Now we have some chests down here for storage, so all the blaze rods from the killing chamber up there funnel down to an actual collection area, which is nice. Got end rods all around here for lighting, and just tried to fill in all the spaces with something and mix up the materials. Let's see here. There was actually a lot to this. It's a big area. So we got like a little design here above the minecart tunnels. This was all netherrack before. We had to do something with this, and you can see a little bit of netherrack back here, but only from this angle, basically, behind the rails. Let's see. This was all netherrack all over here. We got a bit of a design, just a bunch of randomness. Yep. It's kind of the theme. And yeah, I think that's about it. Did we miss anything? I think we got it all. So we come over here, we smack the guys, and there's a hopper minecart underneath that. It picks up the drops, and they go into the storage. Oh, I missed it. Whoop, there it goes. The downstairs area does actually kind of matter because the floor is glass here, so we can see it from up above when we're at the blaze spawners. So it's kind of nice it got done, and I think that's a pretty good view from here too. Oh, snappers! It looks like boats actually work pretty good nowadays. Oh, never mind. Well, we did get up, actually. Wait a second. Man, I struggled so much trying to get this launcher to work a long time ago. It seems to be a lot better now. Yeah, that's cool. Ah, man. Now I got a daunting task ahead of me. You know how it is when you guys have company over, you gotta dust and clean the house and scrub the toilet and all that fun stuff. You guys are gonna be visiting my world here soon, so I gotta do all the cleaning. Get things running the way they're supposed to around here, and pretend like everything's perfect all the time. Like there's so many little things that you don't even think about. Man, I don't even know how to restock this thing anymore. Remember the snowball fountain? That's been out for a long time. The creeper eyes that shoot arrows, the flaming arrows, that's been out forever here. We're gonna get some arrows back in this thing, you know, you guys will see it, and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was so cool. Alright. Alright, we gotta go refill the timer, make sure it has items in it. We gotta get some snowballs for the snowball fountain. For some reason, the snowball fountain doesn't seem to have a minecart anymore. I don't know where it went. So let's get a new one down there. Whoop. And of course, we got one sand block on our slime pad, so we gotta go clean that off. Enderman put a grass block in the cow farm, so we gotta get rid of all the grass. Chocolate Island. I can't have you guys killing my villagers, so we're gonna top them off here with some healing. I injure them every time I press this. They're probably pretty low. Ooh. He's fine. I don't want him to die during the world tour. I'm sure I did more good than bad there, right? Yeah. We got trampled crops all over the place we got to take care of here. Get them all nice and orange again. We got to refill our ender pearls. We should probably fix up our tools here as well. Don't sleep in the nether. I'm not even going to tell you how I lost my last sword. So earlier in the episode when I was working on that nether tunnel, a gas spawned while I was distracted in real life. I was like talking to somebody on the phone, and as soon as the gas spawned, my reflex was, oh, hostile mobs are spawning, I gotta sleep. And I slept in the nether. I remember last world tour, I think I spent like 4 or 5 hours just cleaning up chests around the world. This time we do have a couple of them around, but it's not nearly as bad as last time, thankfully. So we got a couple of these to clean up though. So it turns out the Cactus Farm has an interesting quirk about it. So the way it's designed, during the nighttime, zombies can just wander into the water channels down here, and lately I have discovered like lots and lots of drowned zombies down here. Looks like we only got one today. Not too bad. And yeah, there's definitely a lot more little things that need to be taken care of. Hopefully we can get them all done for the world tour, but that's all the time we got together here for today, so let's get to the comment. It says, Etho, how did you get an ocean monument on land? Aha! That is a great question, because there's something a little bit special about my world here. Because it's so old, this was actually generated before jungles were even in the game. And after I think they added jungles, then they changed the way biomes generate, like the way seeds are. So my world's from an older seed, and if you load up the exact same seed nowadays, this is all ocean, where we're standing right now. And it just so happens there was an ocean temple structure underground in this area, and I mined it out and made an actual monument out of it. Yeah, so it's kind of weird like that. By the way, last episode I kind of brought up the idea about resetting the world, and I got your guys' feedback, so thank you for that. It sounds like by far the majority of you do not want to reset, which is great to see because I don't want to reset, and I'm glad you guys don't want to reset. Like 80 or 90% of you, I'd say, don't want one. I think last time I asked that, it was more like 50-50. So it's good to see it's skewed more the way I want it to be. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Until the world tour. Oh yeah, I gotta shut this off. Otherwise, you guys might shoot the minecarts when you're not supposed to. They should all stand still here. Are these full of arrows? Yep, okay, good. Got any left in here? Oh no, they're all gone now. Okay. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and until the world tour next episode. Or is it a world tour? I don't know. Maybe Etho's been trolling this whole time, and 10 episodes getting you hyped up for it, and then not a world tour on 550. Wouldn't that be great? I think it'd be pretty funny. Bye-bye.